Hey guys, me Seren, back with another video. So I'm supposed to meet one of my friends somewhere, and while I was on my way here, I realized that I was 30 minutes early. I read the message wrong, so I'm like 30 minutes early. But I was like, I'm not driving all the way back home. Even though I don't live that far, but I was like, I'm not driving all. You know how like when you I live like 10 to 15 minutes away, so it's like by the time I drive back home, it would be time for me to come back. So I was like, well, you know what I'll do with this extra 20 to 30 minutes of time that I have right now? I'll film this Suicide Squad video because I've been meaning to get this video up, and I've just been really busy, and I just haven't had the time to like sit down and like film this video in front of a computer. And I still really don't, which is why I'm filming it in my car, because now is the moment that I have time. So Suicide Squad. So as many of you know, I loved Suicide Squad. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved that it won an Academy Award. That is my movie. So a lot of you guys wanted to know why I like Suicide Squad. What did I like about it? Why did I like it so much? The number one reason why especially like when it got such terrible reviews, and it actually wasn't that great of a movie. Like, I didn't love it because it was like the best movie I've ever seen or anything like that. Like, I can readily admit that it was a pretty bad movie. Like, it had absolutely no plot. It was really like a throwaway movie, but I loved the cast. I loved the cast of Suicide Squad. And for me personally, you guys know I'm a big DC fan. For me personally, I feel like so far that's something that the DCEU, with the exception of their upcoming projects, because I'm not feeling the cast of their upcoming projects, but so far I feel like the DCEU has done a really great job of casting. I loved Henry Cavill as Superman. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I did. I love Amy Adams as Lois Lane. I loved every single person cast in Suicide Squad. I do not like Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I think she's too small. I think she's too small. She's too thin. She's too tiny. She's too petite. She's too short. Even though she used to model, but I feel like they should have got like a 6'2", like an Amazonian, right? Like an Amazon, because that is what Wonder Woman is supposed to be. I don't like Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I do like Chris Pine. I don't like Ben Affleck as Batman. I don't know what Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor was even. I don't even know where they were even trying to go with that. I don't like Ezra Miller as the Flash, but that's nothing against Ezra. Like, I like Ezra Miller as the Flash, but I love Grant Gustin as the Flash. So Ezra Miller as the Flash is just not, there's just no room in my heart for him. I love the rest of the Justice League casting. Like, I feel like the DCU has been pretty solid in terms of cast. And the number one reason why I love Suicide Squad was because the cast was perfect. It was spot on. And there was so much diversity. There was so much diversity. Me personally, this is just me personally, nobody has to feel the way that I feel, but me personally, I'm getting to the point now where I just cannot watch a movie if it's an all-white cast. Like, I really don't care if people tell me it's the best movie in the world, if it has the best plot, if it has the best acting. I'm just like, God, this is a lot of white people. Like, look at all these white faces. Like, I just can't do it. Like, I just can't do it. Me personally, I can't do it. For me, I want to like really like emphasize, because I know people are going to be like, oh, are you telling blah blah blah. No, people can do whatever they want. People can make their own movie going choices. But like, for me personally, I'm getting to the point where diversity is more important than a lot of other things in my movie choices. Like, diversity is like up there, showing me what you can do with a diverse cast. And if you can make an amazing movie with a diverse cast, even better. But it's just like, for so long, the narrative has been that like great movies, excellent movies are white movies, and I'm just really, really, really tired of that. I'm really exhausted of that narrative, and I'm just really tired of like white people faces in my face all the time. And it's especially blatant in like the superhero genre, like with the exception of Black Panther, which is coming out, which is not out yet, so Black Panther really doesn't count. The Marvel movies are just so overwhelmingly white. They're like too long, they're too white, they're bloated, they're boring, they're cheesy as fuck. They're aging like bananas. They look like horrible B movies. The costuming is terrible. Like, at least DC movies give me something to look at. Like, the cinematography in Man of Steel was gorgeous. The cinematography in fucking Batman vs. Superman was gorgeous. The costumes are gorgeous. The hair and makeup is gorgeous. Like, give me something. Give me something besides these fucking white faces, because these white faces, to me, Seren, no longer make a fucking movie. Like, no. Like, I'm automatically like, no, like I can't. And the Marvel movies, for the most part, are like 2 hours of like a bunch of white guys and maybe a white chick or two, and nowadays 1 or 2 fucking black guys sprinkled in there for fucking comic relief, comic effects. Not saying comic in the sense that they're like funny, but just like, oh, like, here, niggas, like, here, take Anthony Mackie, take him, here, you know? Like, so seeing Suicide Squad, and I said the same thing when I saw The Maze Runner, which like totally surprised me with the cast. Suicide Squad, for me, from beginning to end, just felt like a breath of fresh air, because it's just like, look at this cast. And not only was the cast diverse, they had this like really tangible chemistry. Like, they really worked together as a unit. Like, I could see these people being a unit. I could see these people like really being a squad. Like, I loved Will Smith as Deadshot. He was amazing. Will Smith wants to be like a serious actor now. Like, take me serious, I'm a serious actor. So he doesn't really like to do like funny movies anymore, comedic roles. He like does all these serious roles now, and it was like really nice seeing him in a role where he got to be funny, because Deadshot has this kind of like really wry kind of sense of humor, and he's always like with the quips and shit like that. So I loved Will Smith as Deadshot. I loved Viola Davis as Amanda Waller. I loved her. Like, I loved her as like the fucking badass in charge of like wrangling up these fucking assholes that like make up. And I love villains. Like, I love villains. Like, I root for the villains. Like, and I've always preferred DC's villains to Marvel's villains, because DC is just a darker universe, and they just like do more of the things that I'm interested in. And I loved Viola Davis as Amanda Waller. I loved that she was the head of the squad. I love that they described her as, you know, behold, this white man holding this iPad, and he says, behold, the voice of God, and like Viola Davis's face popped up. That image alone was worth the price of my movie ticket. Like, I loved that scene. I loved Jay Hernandez as El Diablo. I loved that he specifically said in interviews, you know, like, I went out of my way to take a character that was written as very stereotypical, you know, that was written as, you know, gangbang Mexican SA Cholo, and to do something with that character to show, you know, how I felt about this character, you know, that this character had feelings, that this character had a backstory, that this character had emotions, you know. Like, I loved it. And now this movie's been out for a long time now, so I don't want to hear nothing about no spoilers. And I love the scene where he, like, because his power is like, he has like fire power, like pyro, what is that called? Technic? No, that's the like the business job. Well, whatever. He has like pyro, like fire starter type powers. And I love towards the end when he like goes Super Saiyan kind of, and he turns into this like indigenous spirit type thing, you know. For anyone that like knows more about that, like, please let me know. But he turns into this like indigenous like warrior like figure, and he's like 7 feet tall, and he's like, He's like dressed in this kind of like native like garb, and it was really exciting to see that on the big screen. Like watching Suicide Squad just made me feel excited, and every time since that I have watched it, I feel that same excitement of like, look at all these people of color, look at this black woman, look at these black people, look at these people of color. I love it. And look at their chemistry, and look how much fun they're having, and look at how they're talking to each other, and look at their hair and makeup, and look at these amazing costumes. And I just really get the sense that this is a unit, you know, that this is a squad like working together. Like I love it. Like I just loved it. Like I said, it just made me feel really excited. It was really fun. Like I had fun. Suicide Squad is like a fun B movie with a great fucking cast. And like if the plot had been better, if they had taken their time with the plot, because originally they were trying to like go very dark, and then the horrible reviews came in for Batman versus Superman that it was too dark and it was too long and it was this and this and this. So they did like a last minute rewrite to like lighten up Suicide Squad, which ultimately I think was a good choice, because I did enjoy like the finished product that we received. I did enjoy the tone of the movie, like the little bit more lightheartedness of it. I don't know like what they originally wanted to give us, but I did enjoy the tone of what we ended up getting. But they like chopped and screwed the plot to the point where there just really was no plot. The movie really coasted on the lighthearted tone and on the cast, and again on the special effects and the hair and the makeup and the costumes and the world building. Like the world building, like the world that you got immersed in watching Suicide Squad, I thought was great. It was just that nothing happened in that world. Like there was no plot. But again, I want to say that I feel like, I don't know, like I feel like DC movies don't get a fair shake. I really don't, because I feel like these fucking garbage ass Marvel movies be 3 hours long with no plot. Like I wanted my money back at the end of fucking Avengers. I was like, this shit was too long. It was 2.5 hours of nothing, of a bunch of people talking, and then like a Michael Bay fucking fight scene at the end. Like Avengers 2 was like the same thing to me. Like all I see are people talking about nothing. I see white people talking. If I wanted to fucking look at white people talking, I would go look in my YouTube comments, right? Like the comments that I delete. Like I don't like I just can't. Like I just can't. Like I just fucking can't. And the movies have no plot. The first Thor movie, which I enjoyed, the only Marvel movies that I really have enjoyed, well, MCU, I'm gonna say that the cinematic universe, the only MCU movies that I've enjoyed were the Phase 1 movies. Anything past like 2008, 7, I have not liked. That's like 10 years of movies that I have not liked. I thought that they were boring. I thought that they were dry. Again, too long, too white. Nothing happens, not enough happens. And again, I feel like Marvel movies are very ugly. Like they're just like ugly, cheesy, like they're whack. They're so corny and lame. Like I really don't like them at all. And to me, they have no plot. Like the first Thor movie was something about somebody from another universe. And I mean, clearly I know what the plot is, but like to compare it to Suicide Squad, like somebody from another universe coming over with like some machine or something, trying to like destroy the planet. That is also basically the plot of Suicide Squad. That is also basically the plot of like so many other like fucking movies. But like Suicide Squad and like DC movies are the movies that are gonna get shit for like not having a plot. I hated Deadpool, and I know Deadpool, what is Deadpool? Deadpool is a DC property, but that movie was put out by Fox or Sony? Let me know. I hated Deadpool. Oh wait, no. Deadpool might be Marvel, because Deadpool's in the X-Men universe. Deadpool's in the X-Men universe, but X-Men is owned by Sony? See, now I can't remember. Let me know in the comments, because I know y'all know. The moral of the story is, I didn't like Deadpool either. I sat in the theater for 2 hours feeling like I was waiting for something to happen. And then I got to the end of the movie and I was like, that was it. Nothing happened. There was no plot. Like, what the fuck? Like, and I thought that Deadpool was, again, so white. Peak white people humor. Why is this funny? Like, you know, like frat boy, frat, you know, bro, white bro, dude bro, nudge nudge, fart jokes, semen jokes, you know, haha, gay jokes. Oh, it's so funny. That's just not funny. Like, that's just lame. Like, white people are so lame, and white people humor is so fucking lame, and all these movies are so white. And I just can't, like, that's just really what I'm like taking away from like so many of these like movies. And that is not what I took away from, excuse me, from Suicide Squad. It was just like the core of this cast is like made up of persons of color. But again, there was no plot. And also Suicide Squad did, despite the fact that it had so many people of color, it did tread very heavily in stereotypes. Killer Croc was a horrible black person stereotype. Horrible, 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 horrible. Slipknot, native character who was killed within the first like 30 minutes. That was fucked up. Like, there was a lot of like really fucked up shit that did happen to characters of color. But the thing about Suicide Squad was that there were so many characters of color that it wasn't like by the end of the movie they had like killed off all the people of color and it was like only white people left. Like, no, just like I said in my Magnificent Seven review, like, like such a fucking change of pace at the end of the movie that the two people that are left are like people of color. Like, you know, watching Suicide Squad, it's like, oh, like, yes, oh god, you're like horribly treading in stereotypes, and that's racist. Like, not gonna fucking pretend. Like, a lot of the Killer Croc shit was really bad. Like, the killing off of Slipknot was quite bad. But again, it wasn't like those were the only two people of color in the cast. So it's like, damn, I like watched this whole movie just for them to like kill off the people of color, or to like treat the people of color like they were nothing but stereotypes. Like, there were a variety of, and again, that's not to like excuse that, because that shit was horrible and it was trash. And if we do ever get a Suicide Squad 2, I hope that that is improved upon, because it needs to be improved upon. But it wasn't like, oh, those were our only two persons of color, you know? And I just loved the cast. I even enjoyed the white people on the cast. I have not been here for Margot Robbie. I have not seen it for her. I have not seen it for her in Wolf of Wall Street. I have not seen it for her in Legend of Tarzan. Like, I just have not seen it for this girl in not shit that she's been in. But I loved her interpretation of Harley Quinn. It was great. It was amazing. It was excellent. I loved the Joker. I'm one of those, like, out of control, like, Joker stans. I loved Heath Ledger's interpretation of the Joker. That's my all-time favorite Joker. The Dark Knight is my all-time favorite comic book movie. It's like no touching that movie for me. I mean, I love Batman. Batman is my favorite superhero, and the Joker is my favorite villain. When I was a little kid, like maybe 12 or 13, my mom got me this like big Joker like graphic novel like collection of like all these like different Joker stories and these different illustrations, and I just got like hooked on like, because the Joker's like an anarchist. The Joker is just like, society is a fucking sham, and all these rules and all these like, just everything about society is like a sham, and it's like meant to like keep you from like the truth. And I'd be feeling like that's how I feel. Like, I'd be like, you know, like, society is fucking trash. All this shit is like made up and created to like keep certain people at the bottom and like keep certain people in their place. And like what's a little fucking anarchy, my dude? Like, let's have some fucking anarchy. Like, life is a fucking joke. Like, life is a fucking joke. So smile, you know? So I just love the, I mean, I could get like more into that. Like, I could talk about that shit forever, just about like why he's my fave and how I feel. I mean, and historically, jesters and clowns and jokers as kind of a satirical, you know, what's the word I want? Like meditation on, you know, like an ironic look at like life, and a way to like kind of like poke fun at life in these systems, and to like really show you like, hey, like, look at what's going on. Which is part of why I loved like Heath's Joker, because he put people in these like situations, right? Like, oh, you're so moral and you're so ethical and you're so right and you're so this and you're so that, but like, look at how y'all act when I put you in these situations. Like, I thought it was brilliant. I love the Joker so much. Love him. Oh, I love him. I love Jared Leto's Joker. I know people hated it, but I thought I loved what they did. Just what they did with like the worlds, like the world, just the world building was so fresh and new with these characters that you're familiar with. Like, even if you're not familiar with Deadshot or Slipknot or Killer Croc, you're familiar, which they had Killer Croc on The Flash, but maybe I don't watch The Flash. But like, even if you're not familiar with those characters, you know Batman, you know Harley Quinn, you know the Joker, and they just put this really like fresh, interesting spin on it. Oh, motorcycles going by. They just put this really fresh, interesting spin on it that I loved. I felt, you know, like they're doing modern day clowns, and I love clowns. I love killer clowns. I'm super excited about it. And I was like, you know, they're doing modern day like killer clowns. Like, these are not kids party clowns. These are not like, you know, Heath Ledger Joker kind of disheveled, complete, you know, clowns. These are like modern, fresh, interesting, edgy. They said they were kind of inspired by like Sid and Nancy. Like, how do we take these characters and adapt them for modern day times, eras? What would these type of characters look like? What would these type of characters act like? And the whole vibe that I got from Suicide Squad was like real life type shit. Like, if this shit really did happen in real life. Because again, even like those Marvel movies are, again, they're like, the costumes are bad, and there's just still this element of separation of like, this is all pretend, this is all fantasy. Like, when you watch the old like Batman and Robin with like George Clooney and like Alicia Silverstone, you know, the Uma Thurman and Arnold Schwarzenegger, like, this is kind of like tongue-in-cheek, haha fun. Like, this is pretend. This is clearly like on a set, on a sound stage. And I love that movie too, because I love B-movie cheesy shit also, except Marvel shit, because it's too cheesy. It's too cheesy, and it takes itself too seriously. It thinks it's like doing something. Like, fuck you, Marvel. But it's like, Suicide Squad to me was like, oh, and even to a lesser extent, Gotham and The Flash, and just a lot of what DC, Man of Steel, which I loved, which I know people hated. They're trying to like ground it in like some real world shit. And again, the filming is gorgeous, the cinematography is gorgeous, the costumes, the casting is just right, the hair and makeup. It's like, this is what this shit could look like in our world. And I feel like the diversity of these casts, Lawrence Fishburne is leading the Daily Planet and stuff like that. The diversity of these casts for me is only grounding it even more in this, like, you know, kind of like supposed like real world like sensibility. And I love that. And I love that. And I love it. And I loved it in Suicide Squad. But I just also really just became obsessed with Jared Leto's Joker. That's probably my second favorite Joker after Heath, because it was just like, oh man, this is like a young Joker, of really just like a fresh, edgy spin on the Joker that we've never seen before. Like, I have a headcanon going where Jared's like young Joker becomes Heath Ledger's Joker after they like kill Harley Quinn. And oh, sorry, that's my finger. And somebody, my friend just texted me like, oh, I just got here. And somebody wrote this really great fanfic where that happened, where like Harley Quinn, Suicide Squad verse Chris Ayer verse Harley Quinn, Ayer verse Quinn, got killed, and Jared's Joker lights turned on, and Jared's Joker like just went on this complete rampage and just like became this anarchist like version. And it's just like, and I love that we can like make these connections. And I don't know, I just really like what DC's doing. It works for me. I am like the demographic. Clearly, like, the general public and the critics and the reviewers and like the fanboys and shit are not the general public that they're making films for. I am. I really just love and appreciate what they're doing. But my friend just texted me saying that they're there. So it's already been 23 minutes of me talking about this shit. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. You guys actually got it in a car video, and I know you guys love car videos because I just had this extra little bit of time. So that's what I think. That's what I think about what they're doing right now with the DCEU. That's what I think about Suicide Squad. I love the diversity. I love the cast. I love the world building. I just like, I really did love everything except the plot. Like, if the plot had been better, but then like, but I even think like if the plot had been different, or if they hadn't changed the tone, it wouldn't have been the movie that I enjoyed so much. But if they had gotten the plot just right and they kept everything else, I think that could have been like actually a great movie, not just a movie that like I like or has like a like a fandom, because there is a fucking Suicide Squad fandom. Please motherfucking believe. It could have been even like a great movie. But that's just how I feel about the movie and what they're doing. So now you guys know how I feel about Suicide Squad. Of course, let me know what you think in the comments. I know all of you are going to disagree with me. I really don't care. That's just how I feel. See you guys next time. Peace.